Hello dear friend, I welcome you back to the series of lectures on crash course conducted by Universal Institute. Before going to the questions, my friend, I want to make a quick reminder of the nature of course we are conducting here. You heard it very clearly. The name of the course is crash. You know, when we attach a word crash to something, it indicates a kind of emergency. You know what happens when an aircraft is making a crash landing. When an aircraft makes a crash landing, you know, it makes a rough landing without much preparation and without maintaining routine protocols. So if you compare yourselves to this, you're almost in the same situation. You have actually a huge syllabus of 2 years at your hand, and you're going to stuff that 2-year syllabus into 40 days course, so it will have its own difficulties. You know, we will not be discussing the entire concepts in chapters. That is simply impossible. The only way we can do this course is the following. We will be planning some 20 or 25 questions from each chapter. And we have planned these questions in such a way that if you discuss these 20 or 25 questions, you know, you will be connected with the important concepts in each and every chapter. That is the way we have designed these questions. Hoping that you are ready fully for a crash landing, I go to my first question, and this question actually appears from Laws of Motion, a chapter that is appearing in your first year syllabus. I hope you are ready. The pulley is given an acceleration of A0. Please read this as A0. A0 equal to 2 meters per second squared starting from rest. A cable is connected to the block A of mass 50 kg as shown. Neglect the mass of the pulley and the friction between the block and the ground. Then the acceleration of block A is. So study this diagram very carefully. See here, a body is given and its mass is also given. Actually, it is not necessary also. You will soon understand it. Now what they say is this pulley is given some acceleration A. It's a movable pulley. So somebody is pulling this pulley. Now it is given that this pulley is given an acceleration of 2 meters per second squared. So naturally when you pull this pulley, as this body is free to move, it also will begin to move. They ask you, if A0 is 2 meters per second squared, what can be the acceleration of this block? That block is certainly expected to move, but with what acceleration? See, as they have given the value of A0 as 2 meters per second squared, you don't have to calculate acceleration because that is directly given. So you don't have to analyze it in terms of force, mass and all. This is just a constraint, because if you're pulling this body, this pulley with a certain acceleration, this block is forced to move with a certain acceleration. As this is moving, this also has to move. But it is not necessary that this is moving at the same rate as the pulley is moving. So there are certain constraints. If one part of the system is moving at this acceleration, what is the acceleration of the other part? So it's actually a case of constraints. So I give you some details about constraints that helps you a lot in questions like this. So here is a general case where constraint equations can be understood. Please consider this system. Don't worry about the masses I have given. I'm just connecting two bodies with a string and they are on smooth surfaces. I can pull this body or this body. Anyway, the whole system is likely to move. So just simply assume that I'm applying a force here. Some F is applied there. Some other F is applied here. Let me say some small F is applied here. Forget about the values of F. That's not my point. I just wanted to say that these two bodies are pulled by some external force. So certainly the complete system is likely to move. This pulley will also move because it is a movable pulley. Now when the pulley moves, you know, this body also will follow it. So there are three bodies you can see in the body moving. They may be moving at different velocities and different accelerations. But even though they are different, certain equations are actually satisfied because it's a single system. So if these bodies are having certain velocities, they must satisfy certain equation because the strings are actually inextensible. So leaving calculations, I just remind you of one expression. Carefully listen to me. If this body is moving at velocity v1 and if this body is moving at a velocity v2 because of the application of force, this can be moving with a third velocity v3. I never say that these velocities are equal. Generally they are unequal. But there is some constrained relation between these velocities. The best way to understand is this. See, if this body is moving at velocity v, any point on this part of the string, you can just assume that there is a knot on the string, then this knot will be following that body with velocity v1. So focus on this point. It's a knot that is tied on the string. Similarly, this point is moving with a velocity v2, and this point, because block is moving, so this has to move with a velocity v3. Forget about the masses now. You focus your attention on this part alone. See, there are 3 points moving. As long as these 3 strings are parallel, there is always a constraint equation that appears to be true. Yes, V1, V2 and V3 are related as V3 is equal to V1 plus V2 divided by 2. In simple words, this point has an average velocity of these 2 points. V1 plus V2 divided by 2 is always V3. Now, how you got this equation? Actually, that needs a lot of calculations. I don't want to waste your time on that. For you, this equation will be enough. This is the fact of velocity. Now, the same thing is true for acceleration also. If this body is accelerating at a rate a1, this at a2, and this is moving at a3, the same equation holds good for acceleration also. I can equally say that a3 is equal to a1 plus a2 divided by 2. So, these equations are true as long as these strings are parallel. When the strings are inclined, you know this doesn't work. Anyway, this is true for parallel strings. Let us apply the same concept, this concept in this question. Your question has a block A, remember, and the pulley was pulled with a rate A0, and in the question, it is given to be 2 meter per second squared also. So, if that point is given an acceleration of 2 meter per second squared, then what is the acceleration of this is the question. So, let's assume that this is moving at some other rate. Let me call it A2. Yeah. Yes, if that body is moving at A2, then remember this point also will be moving at the same rate A2. Now come to this point. This point is actually a knot on a string that is attached to a rigid support. Remember, this is actually fixed here. This is not supposed to move. It is tied to a rigid wall. So this string doesn't move. So I can say that 0 meter per second squared is the acceleration of this point. See, these strings are parallel. I can apply this concept here. A1 plus A2 by 2 is equal to A3. So in this figure, this is A1, this is A2, and that is going to be A3. So substituting that, I'll get A1 is 0 plus A2 is just written as A2, which has to be determined, divided by 2 is equal to A3. A3 is A0, and that is 2 here. Simplifying, you'll get A2 as 4 meter per second squared. So that is the acceleration of the block A in this question. So we come to the question back. Yes, if you give A as 2 meter per second squared, this block will be moving at 4 meter per second squared. That's the reality. So the option is 4 meter per second squared, which is